good morning. I got to take this in. Oh my gosh, I feel like Sean did, where I need to just take a moment. This is amazing. Thank you so much, Tara, because your story is what inspires me, inspires us all to keep pushing forward. And I just want to thank, of course, the incredible Tradeswomen Committee that is up here. They're slogging it out day to day. They're the ones who are actually pushing this work after we leave this conference, and it is tireless work. So thank you all so much. Appreciate you, love you. I want to thank Sean McGarvey, of course, because I listened to his speech, and he is a leader, he's an ally. He's someone who's walking the walk and leading by example, and we are so grateful because we know he has our back. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Brandon, Bishop, all the general presidents who are here. Your presence speaks volumes, and appreciate you so much. And Vicki O'Leary, I just have to give a special shout out. My sister, your sister, who has been there through thick and thin, again, leading by example, and I just can't thank you so much for your sisterhood and your support in every single way. So appreciate you. I was going to talk about how we gather in December and we're badass because we do parades in the cold. We're not just marching in the sun. I walked outside and it's like 60 degrees. So here we are, but I can't wait to march in the streets of DC with you. I was reflecting back, and I have been a part of this event, like many of you, since it was in a small conference room at a hotel in California. And we didn't have a parade route. We didn't need a megaphone because we could just talk to each other in that room. We dreamed about filling a ballroom like this. And look at us now. Look at us now. Every year, we have increased our numbers and our power, and what a testament that is to every single one of you who went back home from one of those conferences and brought someone else with you. That's where we are. And it is a reminder that we should carry this feeling with us every single day to remember how not alone we are, right? Take this and bottle it and take it back home with you. Now, everyone has a story about what brought them to this work, why you became active, why you're taking leadership in your union. And we heard Tara's story. We heard a lot of stories this morning. Tara's story, powerful. I also had my journey through the IBEW. Yeah. I can't hear you. No. Actually, I can hear you. And I love you. But now I'm in this role at the AFL-CIO, right? And the AFL-CIO is the umbrella of 60 different unions, right? Obviously the building trades, but a lot of other unions. And I get to hear the stories of women all across our movement. Of course, women in the trades, forces of nature, but it truly has opened my eyes talking with women from other unions, right? Machinists and telecommunications techs, stagehands, seafarers who were out at sea in incredibly tough conditions with harassment and discrimination like you can't imagine. And those stories have resonated with me. And I was talking with one of our steelworker sisters recently, and she was telling me how it was her dream from the very first days of her career to drive one of those big articulated trucks in the plant. All right? We got some drivers in the room. She loved the idea of getting up in that seat and being in control of this 50,000-pound vehicle, right? So you can imagine how many barriers were thrown in her way, how many obstacles she had to push through, and how many times she was told, don't even try it. That's not a woman's job. There was actually a guy who had the gall to tell her, you are never gonna be able to really drive that truck because women don't have good aim. And she looked at him dead in the face and she said, I got better aim than you, judging by every bathroom I've ever been in. You can relate, I'm sure. Well, that comes on top of so many challenges we're already facing in our daily lives, right? The high prices on the things that we need, rent, housing costs that are skyrocketing. How do I afford childcare? How do I even get childcare and keep chasing my dreams at the same time? And here's a new one that I'm hearing about. Technology. Is artificial intelligence and automation going to take my job? You hearing about this? How many of you have seen those VR virtual reality headsets being used in training? Now that's something that we can use to make our lives better, right? I think it's virtual welding they're using them for. How many of you have seen that robot that's laying brick? It is. It is mind-boggling, and it's scary at the same time. What the hell is that thing, right? But technology, we're not going to stop technology, right? But we got to make technology work for us. And I wanted to talk about that this morning because I believe this is the next frontier of the labor movement because we are the only force in America that can actually put the guardrails up, put the protections that we need with technology to make it work for us. That's right. And I talk to workers all over this country, and 7 out of 10 workers are afraid that AI will displace them in the near future. So you hear it all the time, right? The robots are coming for our job. Like that movie, The Terminator. What's interesting is the professional, white-collar people all were thinking that AI was going to take the manufacturing jobs or the, quote, blue-collar jobs that would be automated. And now with AI, the tables are turned. The tables have turned. It's the office jobs. It's the lawyers, the analysts, the computer coders that are at risk. And the work that we do with our hands, care work, plumbing, construction, therapists, artists, that is the work that is going to be difficult to automate. So I'm saying now, our work is the work of the future because I don't care how good your robot is, it can't show up to a residential service call the way a smart member can to install your air conditioning and deal with the twists and turns that you might find. It won't have the hands and the skills that our electricians and our glazers and our, oh, this is a slippery slope, will have. It can't show up on a construction site to adjust on the fly when the weather gets bad. But if we use AI the right way, which is to assist us, the humans, and make our jobs better, it could actually be a launching pad for women in the trades. Why? It's going to open the doors wider than ever. It can mean more opportunity and success for everyone in this room and mean better jobs, better careers, better lives, and women will see themselves in these jobs because they are knowledge-based jobs. The more we use technology and that physical strength that everybody was afraid of, right? That was the big driver. Technology can actually change the conversation. So I wanted everyone to think about that, especially as it can open our doors even wider because we need every woman in America to see that Construction is for them. That construction is more accessible than ever. So are we ready to take that future head on? That's what I thought, because you are the most highly skilled, highly trained workers in the world. And with good jobs, it's better in a union because we have good jobs, secure benefits. We are incredibly well positioned for these changes. So you talk to the economists, you talk to the academics, you talk to the pundits, and they're all saying, if you want your kid to have a secure future, get them in the trades, because you can't build nations with an algorithm. Get them in the trades. That's right. So we're going to make sure technology works for working people and not the other way around. But we are in an incredible moment in our country right now. Working people are waking up, and they are finding their power after so many years of being taken for granted. Are you feeling it? After working through the pandemic as essential workers, hello, you know what I'm talking about? Sacrificing, seeing these big corporations making billions in profits while the rest of us are scrambling to make ends meet. So we saw the actors rising up and the writers taking on the studios, saying enough, enough. We saw auto workers and UPS drivers and hotel workers in Las Vegas, healthcare workers in California saying enough. We are even seeing Starbucks workers and retail workers, nonprofit workers all across the country fighting back. And they're doing it by connecting to unions, right? Everyone wants to be in a union right now. It's an incredible moment of solidarity, and you are a part of it. You are a part of that solidarity. That's right. So we want to ride that wave of momentum, and we want to grow our movement and organize more workers into unions than ever before. And guess who the best recruiters are? You. You are the best organizers, right here in this room. You are the best organizers. And how do we do that? We tell our story. We tell our story. We talk about what Tara talked about. And we talk to our friends. We talk to our neighbors. We talk to that woman who works at the food cart, that woman who works at the grocery store. And we bring them in. That's right. And Sean talked about, we have so much work coming down the pike with these federal investments, and now is our chance to double our numbers, triple our numbers. If we don't do it now, then when will we? So we talked about technology. We talked about unleashing unprecedented organizing and growing our movement. But to do all that, the last thing I want to talk about is leadership. We need leadership. We need leaders who understand the challenges that are coming our way. We need leaders who reflect the diversity and the future of our workforce. We need leaders who don't lift up that ladder behind them when they climb up. We need leaders who will actually pull up that person that's climbing up the ladder behind you. You are those leaders. And this conference is the place where you hone your leadership skills. And when I say leadership, a lot of people think I mean standing up at a podium. That's not what I'm talking about. It takes all kinds of leadership, whether it's volunteering and bringing others with you to phone bank for the election. Maybe it's doing work behind the scenes on an organizing campaign. Maybe it is being out in front at a podium or running for office in your union or local school board, right? Think about it. Think about the possibilities. Use this network to lift up your ambitions. Maybe it's an ambition that you didn't even know you had. Like me, I'm standing here, never had the ambition. You never know where you will find yourself. And you got to use this network to support you on those hard days like Maria was talking about. Yep, those hard days, they happen often, don't they? When someone tells you you can't do the job, when someone tells you you don't have good aim, right? You gotta pick up the phone and be there for each other on speed dial and not be afraid to make that call and suffer in silence. That's what this network is, because we have this incredible moment. It's an incredible moment in our labor movement, and it's not gonna last forever. We have to seize it. And I know that we are gonna be back here next year, stronger than ever before, and we are gonna be at the convention center because we're gonna keep growing, we're gonna keep marching, and we're gonna keep winning together. Thank you, Tradeswomen Build Nations. Woo!